And good morning, this is Sandy Thorpe, here with an easier yoga flow this morning. Let's start with the legs in cross-leg position. Roll the shoulders up and around. Just loosen up the rib cage. And then slide the hands forward, just walking out in front. Slide all the way up. Bring the hands behind you, press the knees down, push the hips up. We're just stretching out the hip flexors here, opening up the chest. Release, bring the hips down. Let's come off to your right side, bring the whole forearm on the ground, left arm up and over. Inhale up, off to the other side. And inhale back up. Let's change the leg positions so we're evenly balanced. Walk the hands forward, sliding out. Slide back up. Bring the hands behind you. Let's have the fingers going away from you this time. Press the knees down, push the hips up and out, forward. And bring the hips down. And let's go off to the right side. So I've been getting lots of comments on my website and on the YouTube videos, which is great. My videos are getting better. I'm doing some better editing. And let's bring the legs out in front and let's inhale all the way up. So in addition to California, I've got viewers in France, in the UK, on the East Coast, in Connecticut, in New Jersey, I think was the latest one. Let's slide up. And again, let's inhale up, exhale forward. So we are going to want to have our hamstrings stretched out. Always a good thing to do. And one more time, inhale up and exhale forward. And let's slide up. Let's bring it to all fours, our hands and knees. And round the back all the way up into cat. Arch the other way into cow. Back to neutral. And let's tuck the toes and pull the hips back into downward facing dog. So pushing way back. And come forward into plank. Lower down. Elbows by your side, pull up into up dog. Flip the toes and come back into downward facing dog. Let's do that again, coming forward into plank, lower down, sweep it up. Flip the toes and back into down dog. Let's raise the right leg up and bring the right knee forward, knee to your nose, send it back. And again, knee to your nose, send it back. And one more time, bring the knee forward, place the knee on the ground, coming right into pigeon Kashyapasana. So this is where, if you want, you could use by the way, you'll want a blanket today or towel, possibly a block or a Kleenex box if you don't have a block. So this is where you can place the towel underneath your right hip if you want. And let's slide the forearms forward, bring it down into sleeping pigeon. And then you can either hold it there in sleeping pigeon or walk the hands back up. And option to try a queen pigeon, where you bring up your foot behind you, reach back with your left hand, and find that foot. You want to find it from the arch of your foot, the instep. And see if you can maybe slide it in. Slide it in, so that your foot is right into the crook of your elbow. And the right arm is going to reach up and over and make the connection. And release. Release, come back. And tuck the toe, bring it back into downward facing dog. Bring that right leg up again. Bring the right knee forward. Let's place the foot in between your hands. We're going to drop the left knee, flip the left foot, sweep the arms up, and just let the hips fall forward. Just kind of sinking into it. Sweep the hands down to the mat. And straighten out your right leg. Bring your nose to your right kneecap. And then option here to walk all the way back into half monkey god. So again, you can take that blanket, place it underneath your right hip if you want, come all the way back. And we're gonna walk the hands forward, bring your nose to your right knee. Big hamstring stretch. Release, lift up, lift forward. Let's just take that blanket, place it off to the left side, and walk all the way forward, tuck the left toe, lift the knee off the ground, and bring the right foot back into downward facing dog. Again, coming forward into plank, down to chaturanga, up into up dog. Flip the toes, back into down dog, and raise the left leg up. Left knee comes to your nose, send it back. Again, knee to your nose, and back. And knee comes all the way forward, place the knee on the ground, into Kashyapasana on this side. Sitting up, settling in. So again, options, you can take that blanket or towel, place it underneath your left hip if you want. Walk the hands forward, down to your forearms, into a sleeping pigeon, giving a stretch into the left hip area. Option again, hold it here, or walk back up. And this time, the right foot is going to come up behind you. Right hand reaches back, finds the foot from the arch of the foot, slide the foot in through the crook of the elbow. Just kind of wiggle it in, keep wiggling, wiggling. And then option, left arm can come up, come over, and make the connection. Very nice stretch. Stretch into the right quad, stretch into the left oblique. Let's release. And release. Tuck that right toe, lift the knee off the ground, send the left leg back into downward facing dog. Bring knee forward again. Place the foot in between your hands. Drop the right knee, flip the right foot. Sweep the arms up. Settle in to our Kashyapasana. Hands come down. Straighten out your left leg. Bring your nose to your left kneecap. And again, options to walk your hands all the way back so you're either sitting on your right heel or you can move the blanket back so that your left hip is on the blanket. Slide the hands forward. And slide back up. Let's lift up the hips, walk the hands forward. You might want to take that blanket, just move it back to the front of your mat, where you might need it, if you need it. And tuck the right toe, lift the knee off the ground, send the left leg back into downward facing dog. Let's come forward into plank. Lower down, sweep it up. And flip the toes, and back into down dog. Let's come back into plank and bring your left hand to the center, release the right arm up, coming into side plank. So easier options here, you can have your left knee on the ground for a little more stability. You can have your knee on the ground, raise the right leg for just a little more difficulty. Or you can have the legs stacked. And then today's option is Kashyapasana if you want to give it a try. So this is where your foot is going to come up. Press the thigh down. Right arm reaches back. Maybe finds that foot, maybe not. Let's release and bring that right foot forward, coming into a lunge. To a low lunge. Bring the right hand to the left side of your foot, dropping the hips again. And then coming down into lizard. So forearms come down to the mat. This is where, if you want, you can use your blanket underneath your forearms. Big hip opener here. Right foot back to meet the left one into elbow plank. Pull up the hips, walk the feet in into dolphin. So push the hips back, give yourself a nice stretch in the hamstrings here. And then drop down to the knees and push back into child's pose. Just tuck the toes, pull the hips up, back. Forward into plank. And this time, the right hand comes to the center. Left arm reaches up. So all the options. Right down, down. Leg stacked. Left foot is up. Right behind you. Downward dog. Let's release. Hand comes down. And bring that left foot forward. Coming into a lunge, drop the hips again. And forearms come down to the right side of the mat. Left foot goes back to meet the right one, elbow plank. Pull the hips up, walk the feet in. Drop down to the knees and push back into child's pose, stretch back. From child's pose, let's tuck the toes, pull the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. And raise the right leg up. Bring the right foot forward, place it in between your hands. Left foot is going to plant, flat in the ground. Coming up into Virabhadrasana Warrior One. Arms stretching up, hips thrust forward just a little bit. Hips are square to the mat, shoulders are square to the mat. And let's inhale up. Warrior Two. Reach forward, flip the right palm up. Left hand slides down the back of the leg. From reverse warrior, inhale up, back into warrior two. And reach forward again. Let's straighten out the right leg. Slide the hand down into triangle. Triangle, we just shift our weight to our right foot. Right hand is going to reach out, find the mat, put a blanket. Exhale down, step back into downward facing dog. Stretch out backs of the legs. And come forward into plank. Pull it down, pull it up. Flip the toes, back into down dog. And this time your left leg is going to reach up. Left foot comes forward in between your hands. Right foot plants flat in the ground. Back into our Warrior One. Inhale up, exhale, into Warrior Two. Let's reach forward, flip the left palm up, come into Reverse Warrior, getting a nice stretch through your left oblique this time. Inhale up, back into Warrior Two. And reach forward again, straighten out the left leg. Hand is just going to slide down, coming down to your ankle, down to the floor, your shin. Just not your knee, you don't want to be there. And shift your weight to your left foot. Left hand just slides out in front. So the important thing here is you want to have your hand pretty far out in front, like mine is about a foot from my left big toe. Into our half moon. Let's release, bring it down into standing forward fold. Stretch out, that's what it is. From here, let's pull the arms up, bring the hips down. Coming into chair, Bakasana. Let's bring the hands down to heart center. A little bit lower, a little bit lower. Let's come into a twisted chair. Twist off to your right, tuck the elbow. Open up the arms. Big stretch to the back, big twist. And hands down to heart center, back to the front. Let's go off to the other way. Open up. Hands back to heart center, back to the front. And from here, we're going to bring the arms up again. And we're going to come up onto our tippy toes. And come lower, lower. And then bring it all the way down. Open up your knees, stretch up the arms. To toe balance. Bring the hands down to the mat. So we're going to go into baby Bakasana today. So as I mentioned, this is an easier video. So baby Bakasana is baby crane, kind of the first one to give a try to. And from our squat pose, you're going to bring your forearms down to the mat. So if you'll notice, when I start to lean forward, I can't get my forearms completely down, but as we shift our weight forward, that will automatically happen. So we're just going to lean forward, clamp our knees onto our triceps, and then we come all the way forward like this. Your feet are off the ground, all of an inch or two, if that, and release. Let's bring it up. Bring it to hands and knees, so that's it, baby Bakasana. Let's round the back all the way up. Arch the back the other way. Kind of a silly pose, but it actually achieves a great purpose. It helps to relieve the anxiety that you might get when you're going into crane, where you think you might be falling onto your head. And we don't want to go there. Let's tuck the toes, pull the hips back, into downward facing dog. Come forward into plank, lower it down, sweep it up, tuck the toes, back into downward facing dog. Let's drop down to your knees, push back into child's pose. Just take a breather here. Letting the hips open up, stretch out, maybe walk your hands off to the right, push the hips off to the left. Center, hips back to center. Walk the hands off to the left, slide the hips off to the right. Hips back to center, hands back to center. Let's tuck the toes, pull the hips up, and back, maybe downward facing dog. And from down dog, let's raise your right leg up. Bring the right knee forward, place the foot in between your hands. And your left foot is going to plant flat on the ground. Coming back into our warrior one. Arms reach up, hips settle in. And from here, pull up, swan dive the arms down, all the way down, and we're going to straighten out your right leg. So the hips shift backwards, coming into pyramid pose. And then start to shift your hips forward, walk your hands forward. And we're going to release the left leg off the ground. Just bring it into a 3-point balance. Hips are square to the mat. And let's release. So just bring the hands into prayer. And then come all the way up. Bring your left foot on the ground. And then shift your weight to that left foot. And the right foot is going to come up into tree. So for tree, the foot can be way down here by your ankle. It can be just below your knee, or it can be above the knee. So you don't want to actually have it on the knee if you can at all help that. We give our knees so much wear and tear. Arms can come all the way up. Stretch up through the spine. Open up that hip. An option here if you want to go into big toe hold, Padangushanasana. Left hand reaches down to the left hip. Right hand can find the knee, or if you want, you can even find the right big toe. We're going to straighten out the back, roll the shoulders back, and then stretch out that leg. Find that balance point. Try to open up the chest. Big stretch here. Let's release, bring the foot all the way down. How are we doing here? Let's open up the feet to about hip distance apart. Bring the arms all the way up. And pull up and exhale off to your right. Inhale up, off to your left. To windshield wipers. Let's do it again. Inhale up. And again, exhale to your right. Inhale up, exhale to your left. Some people have asked me, how do you know when to inhale, when to exhale? Think of it usually as whenever you're coming up, you're inhaling. Whenever you're going down, you're exhaling. Inhale on the up, exhale on the down. And let's come back up. So we're back up at the front of your mat. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up to a flat back. Exhale down. Option here to try jumping back into plank if you want. Lower on down to chaturanga and inhale up to up dog. Flip the toes, exhale back into downward facing dog. And from down dog, let's raise the left leg up. Left foot comes forward in between your hands, right foot plants. Up into our very Virabhadrasana Eka, warrior one. And inhale up, exhale out, all the way down. Swan dive the hands all the way down to the mat. Straighten out your left leg, bring your nose to your left kneecap. So again, we can shift our hips backwards as we do that. And we're going to shift our weight forward, lock your hands out in front, and raise the right leg up when we do into a three-point balance. Some people call this a modified warrior three. From here, let's release it up into a full warrior three. Stand hands in prayer. And slowly come all the way up. Shift your weight to your right foot. And your left foot is going to come up to tree. Arms can come up all the way overhead. Option, right hand down. Left hand finds the knee or the big toe. Stretch it out. Stretch. There it is. And back to the front of your mat. Inhale up. Pull up. Swan dive out. Exhale all the way down. Inhale up to a flat back. Exhale down. Let's hop or walk back into plank. Lower on down. Keep it up. Flip the toes. Back into downward facing dog. From down dog, let's hop or walk into a seated position, cross-legged in front. Bring the hips down, and then stretch the legs out in front. So, as always, want to have your feet up right up towards the front of your mat. And inhale all the way up. Exhale forward. And again, inhale up. Exhale forward. So we are going to go into one last arm balance. This is also an easy one called Baby Grasshopper. But first we need to make sure our legs are really stretched out, our hamstrings. Let's do that one more time. Inhale all the way up. Exhale forward. See if you can even grab your toes. Get that stretch. And inhale back up. So we're going to do some twists first. Let's bring your right foot in. So your right foot is in your groin. Inhale up. Exhale forward. And inhale up. And let's bring your right hand behind you, left hand on your knee. And we're going to push down the right knee, lift up, and just sweep to the back. Get a couple of good twists and stretches first. And release. Bring the hips down. And bring that right knee up. And bring the right foot over. So I'm going to turn slightly so that you can kind of see what we're doing here. So from here, we're going to first bring our right elbow inside. Left elbow inside. Right hand behind you. Stretch up. And then from here, we're going to turn back to the other side and place both hands on the mat, like about a foot in front of the rest of your body. And we're going to come down into a couple of mini push-ups. And the point here is we're going to lift the hips up and turn, so that instead of being on your butt, you want to be on your left hip. So we're going to come down, lift up the hips, and turn. Come down, lift. So that the seam of your left seam of your pants is there. And bring that right foot in. Bring the left hand in. So your left hand is right in, close to your body, just like kind of staking it up. Bring the right arm over and find that left big toe. And first, we're just going to stretch out the hamstring a little more. Just pull the foot up. Get a good stretch here. Pull it down. Bring your foot in a little more. Again, make sure that you're turned. Staking up your body with your left hand. And find that left foot. Pull the foot up. Shift your weight to that left foot. Maybe come off the ground. Maybe it's too early. So that one's called baby grasshopper. Let's bring the legs out in front and inhale up. Exhale forward. And inhale out, this time bringing your left foot in. And again, inhale up. Exhale forward. Slide up. Left hand comes behind you, right elbow, right hand on your right knee with the palm facing upward. Lift up the hips and just feet to the back. Release, hips down. Turn back to the front of your mat, bring the knee up, and place the foot over to the right side of your right thigh. Pull up through the spine. And left hand behind you again. This time the right elbow is going to come into the knee, and you can twist around as much torque as you like here. Release. And then turn back to your right side. So again, hands are going to be in the mat. We're going to do a couple of mini push-ups with the intent of lifting up the hips and turning so that the right seam of your pants is going to be on the mat. Lift up. Down, and again, maybe lift up a little more, twist, come up, slide up, bring the arm in, bring the foot in as close as you can. You want to be as condensed here as you can, and lift up, bring the left arm over. You're going to bring it in front of your knee. And let's just try a couple practices just to stretch out that hamstring a little more. I don't know about you, but mine is still not very stretched out. And again, big stretch for the hamstring. All right, pull back in, tighten up. And we're going to shift our weight forward as we lift up the hips. Shift our weight, and maybe stand up. And there we go. Let's release, come down, release the leg, And bring both feet all the way up front. Inhale up, exhale forward. And one more time, inhale up, exhale forward. And let's have your hands just above your feet. We're gonna roll down, rounding the back. Lower, lower, lower. Let's come all the way down, bring the legs up, and maybe all the way up into shoulder stand. Your option here. And all the way over into plow. And release the hands, roll down, back down to the mat. Legs are up. Legs are coming lower, lower, and lower, and lower. Just before they reach the ground, bring your knees into the chest, send back up. And again, legs coming lower, 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 lower. And let's roll onto your right side. Bring your right arm overhead, left hand in front, and we're just going to raise both legs. This is called a double-legged infinity pose on Bakasana. Working the core a little bit. Release, bring both legs down. Bring the left leg up. And bring that leg all the way forward into our regular one-legged infinity pose on Bakasana. And coming all the way up, just roll onto your back and bring both legs all the way up. Flex the feet, point the toes, and bring the legs lower, and lower, and lower, and lower, and lower. And this time we're going to roll off to our left side. So turn so that I can see you. And your left arm is going to come overhead. Just raise both legs up into Bakasana, the infinity pose. Bring the left leg down, bring the right leg up, and all the way forward. And bring that leg all the way up, go onto your back. Both legs are all the way up. And very slowly, let's lower the legs, coming lower and lower and lower. And then release all the way down, coming into our final Shavasana. So releasing the body down to the mat, closing the eyes, tuning in to your breathing, tuning in to your inner self. Being aware of thoughts, but just letting them drift by you, just like little tiny clouds. Not really paying any attention to them. But tuning into breathing. Being aware of the chest rising with the inhale, and falling with the exhale. Again, rising, inhale, and falling with the exhale. So the breath is something that you can tune into. If you are ever feeling stressed out for any reason whatsoever, just tune in to that breathing. And we're in the chest, rising and then falling. And suddenly, it's almost like magic. You can slow everything down. Slow breathing down your heart rate. And then rolling off to the right side into fetal position. And push it right up into a cross-leg position or whatever's comfortable. And rolling the shoulders up and around. Rolling the head, stretching out the neck. And around the other way. Back to center, and let's bring it into one big breath to conclude our practice today. Take a great big inhale all the way up, and exhale all the way down to heart center. Light in me, there's the light in you wherever you are. Namaste.
Glory in numbers, glory so